and it's Bo Porter himself, one of our guys, now obviously working for the LA Angels. But Bo, welcome in. Good to have you here. What can you tell us about the golf tournament and what you're trying to do with it?
Well, one thing I can tell you is that Mother Nature is not our friend today, because we have cold weather here in Houston, and as you can imagine, people in the Houston area, they're just not used to cold weather. So we're actually going to reschedule the golf tournament itself, but we will have a program. I have several celebrity guests that flew into town that will be a part of the event. We have several of our scholar athletes that will be here, our board members, some of our sponsors as well. So we're gonna pivot and turn it into a program and a luncheon.
Oh, look at you, man. What are you, the NFL now?
Come on, toughen it up a little bit,
Come
Bo.
on, tighten it up. Put some gloves on. No.
Hey, Howard, it's Houston, Texas, and it's 29 degrees.
That's unbelievable. Bo, I was just in Arizona, and we did hot stove there Friday. It was 29, 30 degrees in the morning. I don't know what's going on with the weather. So you make this adjustment, but I tell you what, it's still a celebration, what you've been able to do at your school and with the foundation and all that. Bo, you're to be commended. Tell us a little bit about when you started with the vision for this school, and explain maybe to our viewers what it's really all about.
Well, when you start to look at just whole person development, obviously baseball has been a part of my life. It's been, really good to me. But when I sit back and I look at the impact that education had on my life as well, it was just a desire to marry education with baseball. And after going down to IMG Academy and really witnessing the impact that IMG Academy was having on their scholar athletes, it was something that I felt like if we're able to pull the pieces together and we can get the educational part right, the baseball part I wasn't worried about at all. But we were able to partner with K-12 Private School Academy for our full, accreditation and curriculum. And from that point, we started recruiting scholar athletes. And we have kids on the roster from California, New Jersey, Texas, obviously, Florida. And it's growing more and more. We have 50 kids in the school right now, and we're looking to grow from 50 to 75 come next August.
See, and if you're going to have a school named after you and do all the things he's doing, you got to be able to market. So if you look off Bo's right shoulder, you threw the Angels logo up there real quick. That got up there real quick. I see that happening.
Yes.
Bo, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, obviously, and I'm curious from your perspective. Part of Dr. King's message was also education socially as well as just academically. How about for you and the impact that Dr. King had on your life?
Well, it was a huge impact, and I think when you look at us selecting this day, it was selected with great intention of realizing the impact that Martin Luther King had on this country. And I say this all the time: Black history is something that I celebrate each and every day, realizing that I'm standing here before you today because of the shoulders of many great leaders, and there was probably not one any greater than Dr. Martin Luther King.
So, Bo, let's turn it to the Angels a little bit. Obviously, Ron Washington gets a managing job. He brings you in to coach, and you and Eric Young, the two African-American coaches, he added to his staff and fitting for this day. But the first thing you guys did was you went to see Mike Trout. And it was interesting that it wasn't just Wash. He took the contingency with him. So what was that like? And well, you've been a manager before. It was a move I hadn't seen where he took coaches with him.
Well, I think when you start to think about just from a managerial standpoint, you know that you're going to run the ball club, but you also know that the extension that your coaches have that are working with those players day in and day out, those relationships are really going to carry your clubhouse. They're really going to carry the pulse of your team. And Wash has been inclusive from day one with myself, Eric Young, and the entire staff itself. So when you think about the Angels and where the organization is at, you look at the roster, we all believe that we can perform at a higher rate than they have in the last few years. But we also know that getting Mike Trout on board and understanding the direction of the organization and allowing him to actually give us, some feedback as to why do you think the organization has not been able to be as successful as it should have been given the roster. So it was a great meeting. You know, Mike, he invited us into his home. He was completely, you know, open-minded to the things that we shared with him, and he's completely on board with creating a championship culture here with the Angels.
And last thing, I'll let Steve jump in a second. Just in Arizona, they got the rookie camp going for the Angels right now. So I got a chance to watch some of that. And the thing that stood out was Wash coaching the coaches. You know, and Steve, you know, when you're starting over, you don't want just a manager worried about the big league team. It's the full, complete organization.
Absolutely. It's the message. It's the Angels' way of doing things. You want that to filter from the top down. You know, and Bo, I think about you and having gotten to know you here at MLB Network. Like, I get fired up when I work with you. Like, you start talking baseball, I want to run through the wall. And Wash has that way, too. What are you going to do to contain the emotions of the players? Because you guys can deliver some motivational speeches, man.
Well, the good thing we did as an organization, I came the first 3 days, and then Wash came right behind me, and he spent the last 4 days. But you're right, Harold. It was great for us to actually get a chance to sit with all of our coaches and really talk about the Angels' philosophy. Because at the end of the day, as an organization, the one thing you have to get right, you have to get the evaluation of your players right. And in order to get the evaluation of your players right, you have to create a standard in which you're going to actually judge and evaluate those players. So this whole week was more about getting everyone in the room and from an organizational standpoint, figuring out what are the things that we value, what are our core values, and how are we going to move this organization forward by getting these players better each and every day.
Yeah, Bo, a personal question for you. Obviously, you've done great work here at MLB Network. The idea of getting back on the field, why did you make the decision now with the Angels to get back on the field?
I've always said it was all about the right time and the right place. And when you think about going through the interview process, it was very clear to me that the direction in which the Angels wanted to go. And once they selected Ron Washington and him and I got on the phone and we just started talking about, you know, the overall process of building a championship culture, there's been many times where I've been in the interview process and I've called Ron Washington and asked him to be a part of my staff if I was to be named the manager. And he has done the same and for me as well. So the timing of it could not be better. I love players. I love impacting players and helping them reach their full potential. And I think that we're in a great situation in Anaheim to do just that.
Well, Bo,
Right,
thanks.
Bo.
Bo,
I was going to say, wrap this up with the foundation stuff real quick. Again, just letting people know there's no golf happening right now, but it'll be when?
It's going to be June 10th. We pivoted. We're going to move it to June 10th. The Angels and the Astros, we play them on that Sunday before, and then Monday is an off day. So we will have the golf tournament that day. But as I said in the beginning, we're going to have a program today. We'll have some of our scholars here and a few of our alumni that have played in my programs over the years will actually be here to speak to some of our sponsors as well. We have the great Roger Clemens in the building as well. You guys are going to get a chance to talk to Rocket next. He's always been a huge supporter of everything I've done here in the city of Houston. But, you know, the foundation is Bo Porter Academy. It is the school, and we've been able to marry education and baseball, and it's just been tremendous.
Well, Bo, thanks for giving us the time. Thanks for doing the bump for us, talking about Roger Clemens coming up next. All the TV work has paid off for you. Nice work there.
It all pays
yeah,
off.
Listen, all the best to you with your academy there. You're doing great work and appreciate you giving us some time.